Greetings and welcome to my dear Aquarius friend. Welcome. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. This is a reading for the energy of Aquarius in the month of October 2020. One hell of a year, one hell of a ride. Saturn is the good news. It's going direct, which should affect essentially the energy of your sun. And with it going direct, essentially there are structures, or perhaps a bit more crystallizes in terms of rays of the sun. Um, mm, Very interesting considering we are also within the autumnal equinox. It's just passed, meaning that very soon there is a tendency for us to delve more into the darkness through the other, especially with Libra season. Please take that to the mind as you approach the Great Mirror, which is essentially the spread I'm using today. It is a 9-card spread in which conscious, subconscious, and unconscious elements of apparencies, transparencies, modes of actions, and karmas between two agents, that is you and your significant other, intermingle. And within it, the Great Mirror will show reflections that may be of a type of truth, if you will, apparent truths. Please take only what you will, only what resonates. This is not for everyone. However, if you can claim it, it is yours and can fit your narrative accordingly. If you would like something deeper, I am available for private readings. We're going to begin now. I'll pull a few cards from the Russian Fairy Oracle to essentially get the underscore or the motif within the month of October for the energy of Aquarius. I find it strange that it's called October when it has nothing to do with the number 8. Maybe numerologically speaking, or esoterically speaking, it could speak of the 8th house. Whatever. Okay. Something is calling you, my dear, and it has to do with the 11th house. Systems of fear, or perhaps systems that you're trying to rebel against. But something is calling you. This fear deals with essentially the need to understand the death cycle and something that has been buried. The cross, as well as the church garden, is here. Something that has to do with holy, sanctified ground and traversing over this, traveling over this, being called to do so. But as you do so, people fear you, or for some reason, there is a fear effect, a fear factor that occurs. It could be that you're re-entering someone's life, or that your significant other is re-entering in your life, but there's an element of fear here. Something that was already set aside in the ground, okay? Let's see. Yes, this has to do with grounds. This has to do with territories as well as stability within places of belonging. Something about you or something about the significant other, what's coming into your life, is essentially kind of strange. And this otherness, this strange like unknown, is essentially the cause of fear, but there's something deep down within you that is calling this in. And you have to be aware of certain things. If something has sort of faded away or has rolled off to the side and has been set aside, it's been set aside for a reason. But there's an essence of reanimation here that could bring back some very violent chords of potentially fallout, or resurrection from the fallout. There's something here that is also trying to be told to you, some sort of judgment or some sort of precision. Something should be resounding, but perhaps you're not listening. And because of such, there is an element of the unknown through a gateway that could be very much filled with bringing you, or concerned with bringing you, something that comes through the gateway is trying to bring you a sense of truth or a sense of communication. But this is something that you fear, okay? Hopefully that helps. Very interesting. Yeah. So we'll set the Russian Fairy Oracle aside. I will be working primarily from the Alieta School deck, the Grand Alieta, and it's a good deck. It's about 130 years old. So we'll go ahead and treat it with dignity and grace and get started with the Great Mirror reading. It's a 9-card spread. I will use clarifiers for it. This is for the energy of Aquarius, the month of October 2020. Yeah, there could be a type of return, or perhaps there could be an aspect about you that is trying to not let this return come. You've already left it in the side. You and the object of your affection maybe filled with a type of ambition. On one end, there is a type of fostering that you have tried to do in order to implement a sense of nurture from a distance. And this person or this thing, this object of affection, is trying to process it. There's a great deal of tension in this situation. The tension is quite equal between both of you, and it has to do with an imbalance as well. Ambition taking precedence here, ambition of worldly nature. 6 here. Yeah, 11. This is your energy here. Okay, once again, it pops up. Very interesting. The 6 of Pentacles is strong. The energy of Jupiter is strong here in this connection, meaning that there could be something about your higher mind that is trying to come to balance and trying to equalize through deep insight the connection, trying to essentially grow a sense of fair play or a sense of equanimity in some sort of way between you and this person is here with the 6 of Pentacles. On the conscious level, they are also dealing with the Pentacles cycle. 2 teachers are here, Jupiter as well as Saturn. What is trying to be reaped here between both of you may be a sense of insight that is being provided by you through the growth of understanding through critical analysis, or at least electrical impulses in your brain that expand, okay? Meaning that your higher mind is being activated and there's something about it that could prove insightful, like a lightning bolt, okay? It comes in like a download or something like that. You are also trying to balance out in fair play between 2 various things, the external world and then this situation. On a conscious level, they have the energy of Jupiter, rather Saturn, here, strong. Excuse me, Capricorn is here, 7 of Pentacles is here. So already I'm seeing an element of trying to ground this and a combination which could lead to 6 plus 7, 12, 13, 3 and 1. Trying to assert oneself against the greater scheme of things, okay? And trying to find structure in this, okay? There's a possibility for a negotiation between Jupiter and Saturn in this situation, meaning that a great lesson is here that has to do with the death of something, the death of an offer trying to be revisited. It could be that there was a type of rejection or refusal and perhaps an inkling for them to try again. But this is already too late. Something is changed and transformed. The thing that is trying to be sown here is a sense that there has been limitation within the situation, okay? Very interesting, very, very interesting. One of the challenges that occurs here is essentially trying to understand if this is what you desire or if this is a place that is naturally where it's supposed to be, where it's coming from. Um, there is the energy here of not essentially working hard on the connection or perhaps trying to work somewhere in between. Both of you are fostering the sense of trying to find balance in a stabilized and naturalistic way in order to understand the lessons and the growth process here. Very strong here. But what is manifested is essentially a sense that things have already irrevocably changed, and plutonically, things have shifted in a very deep and transformative way. Now, on the soul level here, we have an element of sincerity. There's an emotional distancing that has occurred, yet you still imbibe from the very option of the situation, meaning that there are, generally speaking, there's a myriad of choices for you always in terms of love and possibilities of love. But you stand fixed in your sort of resistance to really go fully into the energy of this, okay? But there is sincerity here, meaning that you do feel from your options, but your options are indeed many, and you find stability in your own sort of place, but also you want to essentially invest a bit on the emotional connection here. That seems to be what's going on. On a soul level, they have the Queen of Cups, and okay, this is showing essentially the Queen of Cups in reverse, especially is a purely conditional love. Both of you stand in a place of condition. So the beauty of this is that there's a lot of mirroring going on a conscious level as well as unconscious level. What occurs between you two is a sense of éclaircissement, some sort of clarity. This is very striking considering I've seen this placement in a very recent reading. The energy of Taurus is here, Venus in the second house. Some sort of stability approaches as well. The need to materialize happiness and to also invite the energy of Gemini, the fifth house, into the equation. So there's an element of happiness as well as reasonable materiality within this connection that wants to ground itself, a soul connection that wants to ground itself. But it stems from emotions or perhaps offers that are not totally traditionally grounded or cemented, yet they are still, the emotional connection is still very strong here, okay? One of the challenges in this is sort of their end, the need to understand a bit more of the monstrosity or perhaps the prodigy within the emotional cards that they play, the emotional cups that they offer. There's a lot of manipulation here on one end, and on your end, there's a possibility of sincerity, yes, but way too many options in terms of what you're trying to invest in terms of love, okay? And it's very interesting because what is essentially coming to be, what is trying to be manifested on the magical realm, on the subconscious programming realm, there is a severity that has, or perhaps even an anger that has been programmed between both of you that has to do with essentially individuality, especially you feeling naturally at home as a rogue element and wanting to stay there, be emotionally intelligent and detached in such a way that it becomes effective for you. At the same time, there is a return that they want to come to sort of justify the Seven of Pentacles through over slow time and limitation, trying to come back in, seed back in, and sort of revisit an offer here. The big thing that is here is that time has lapsed, and there's essentially a sense of emotional sort of deadening, or perhaps emotional sort of misplacement of expectations and such. And because of this, you may be displeased with the situation, or perhaps even severe from a distance upon this person. It's about negotiating what essentially is happiness in terms of the energy of cups, what feels right. And unfortunately, because things have lapsed and because things have been said or done, there is a feeling that there is a type of history that has to do with rejection, and then reanalyzation of such a rejection. Therefore, the change has already come. The damage has been done, sort of thing. But there is still a need to equalize things and perhaps potentially a hidden new beginning that involves hard work if it happens, okay? The advice is to essentially understand that stability is quite important and this person needs it. Unfortunately, the emotional stability takes secondary sort of conditioning when it comes to the situation for them. For you, it might be different, okay? Please like if you like. Hopefully that was a pretty standard good reading for you, my dear Aquarius. Remember that the 11th house rules you and that you are the ruler of the 11th house. Saturn and Uranus are placed there in order to understand the structures that are implemented in the lesson of Capricorn in the 10th house. And then Uranus shifts it according to various orange-like new permeations that can be variations according to the system of reform. Okay, so this person could be teaching you elements of the structure, how they have not worked out properly, and how you may be providing insight in some sort of way of things that have been done and said that are irrevocable. Okay, hopefully that helps. I do appreciate it, and take care now. Bye bye.